Yeah, so I found it, so this is a conference to bring all the new together. I'm not sure where I fit. I founded TomTom 25 years ago, together with a couple of friends. Took us about 10 years to figure out what we wanted to be and how we wanted to play it, but then we became the navigation company in 2003. And it amuses me that a lot of people in this room will never have driven a car with a paper map. You know, we've really changed the way people would get from A to B. We've sold 80 million navigation devices, and now our products can be found in cars, in mobile phones, in all sorts of applications. Hundreds of millions of people use them every day. But the industry's moved on, and today we are at the eve of even bigger things that are going to happen to the industry, and I'm talking about self-driving car. TomTom and others, and car makers and startups and all sorts of people are working on to get that technology right, to get the self-driving car on the road, accredited, certified, changing the face of the world. And if that many people are trying to do the same thing, it's always good. What is exactly the problem we're trying to fix? What is it we're trying to achieve here? The motor car was invented in '86, I think, by Benz, but it took another 20 years or so for it to become a mass product. It was Henry Ford in 1908 who developed the T-Ford. You can get them in all sorts of variants, but they were all black. It's a famous story. And it changed the face of the earth. It enabled commerce, it gave freedom, and it created an industry where you have now 50 million people working. And those products over the last 100 years have improved dramatically, but all incrementally. They have improved, they are safer, they're cheaper, they're more reliable, and they brought an enormous amount of wealth. But we do pay a very high price for that freedom and that mobility and that commerce. Every year, 1.25 million people die in traffic. Now that is a number, if you translate it in car crashes or in airplane crashes, it's about the equivalent of 120 airplanes full of people crashing down to Earth every week. That's a staggering number. And we pay a high price in monetary sense. So every family who owns a car on average pays between 10 and 15% for that piece of kit that is 90% of the time not doing much. And it comes with all sorts of inconvenience. You need to service it, you need to insure it, you need to pay tax. Cars get damaged, you need to repair them. And that's not great. So what the self-driving car is about, driving the cost, both internal cost, but also the external cost of mobility down by a factor X. And mobility eventually will come to you as an application, and an application that is rated in the Apple Store or in Google Play with 3 stars or 5 stars, and the drivers will be the reliability and the price, the convenience that that service provider will offer. But that's a long way out. It's a long way out. We need to, if you want to be in this business and you want to play in this business, you need to get the timing right. And there are very significant technical problems that need to be solved. But given the size of the profit pool that is available, I have no doubt in my mind that we will get there. The technology will catch up, and that we will enter that world initially with self-driving cars that are used at a small scale. They're probably safer than human-driven cars, but not safe enough for complete autonomous driving. It will take then another 5 years perhaps to incorporate user feedback, harden the technology, get the legal framework right, and harden the legal framework under which those cars can be on the road. But then eventually you will probably see suppliers of mobility emerging that will rely in the core of their business on the self-driving car and on huge network effects to price the cost of a mobility correctly. A big question mark is, of course, what the regulator is going to do. Regulator and the general public are notoriously bad at weighing risk, and it will not take long before the first self-driving car will be involved in a fatal accident, and it will make headlines. And it has the potential to slow things down. And there's also a lot to lose. We will see if this industry will provide winners and losers. And it will take time for society as a whole also to adapt to those new models. And it is likely to expect that, you know, that the public and the politicians and the incumbents will ask for a more gradual introduction of this technology. It will not be a big bang, and it will be a hybrid solution for a long time. We will still have traffic jams, by the way, but those traffic jams will move at 200 kilometers per hour. And there will be traffic jams that occupy 8 lanes in the same available space. Some of the most valuable space in cities that is now occupied by cars that are doing nothing will be given back to the people who live there and work there. So it is a very exciting future, and there is a lot to gain, and it will change the face of the Earth beyond recognition. Timing is going to be critical and difficult to predict that. What is the role that TomTom is playing in this field? Well, we are providing the technology to software developers to pinpoint that car on the road within 5 centimeters of accuracy. That's where it all starts. We have data, we scan the roads, we process that data, we have technology to correlate that data with the position of the vehicle, and that's a starting position. And I think the industry is coming to a view that those maps are absolutely necessary to make it all work. We're also providing simulation software, so software developers can try things and develop stuff without killing people. And then, of course, we are working very closely with all sorts of partners in the industry, both new entrants, but also the established car manufacturers who are important customers to us. It's a very exciting future, and it will change the world, it will change the car industry in the next 10 years more than all the changes we have seen in the last 100 years. And with that comes a tremendous amount of opportunity and risk. So we are excited to look forward to that new world and play our role. Thank you very much.